All right, so we've skipped down to example 4a. Again, you see we have these two denominators which are different, and you might be tempted just to do this, but notice that there are some GCFs in there. So I'm going to begin by factoring out the 4 and being left with d plus 3 here, 5, and I'm going to be left with d plus 3 here. And you see once we factor, there's a little bit of a similarity there that we can take advantage of and get a smaller common denominator. So for 4 and 5, we need to have a number they both go into, so that's going to be a 20. So I'm going to put a 20 in both of these spots. And then they both have that d plus 3, so I don't need to duplicate it. I just need it once. And that's what's going to make it a little bit easier there. And then there's this minus sign. All right, so for this one, I'm going to look to see what did I multiply by. It looks like it's just a 5. So I'm going to multiply this by 5 over 5. And that's going to give me 5d minus 5. And then that gives me my 20 here. And then over here, what I'm missing is a 4. So I'm going to multiply by 4 over 4 and distribute that and get 4d minus 8. And then that also gives me a 20 down there. All right, again, there's a minus. And so I need to put that parentheses around there to remember I want to subtract the whole thing. So when I combine them, I'll have 20. So remember, we're going to finish our subtraction and addition first before I reduce. Don't be tempted there. I'm going to combine and put these together, and then I have 5d minus 5 minus 4d plus 8. So that's going to be d plus 3 over 20 times d plus 3. And that was easy enough. Those cancel. That leaves me with 1 over 20 for my answer. Okay, so let's take a look at example B. For this one, I have the k plus 3. So remember that plus makes that a group or a team. So when I look for my common denominator here, it's got to have that k plus 3 parentheses in it. And here it needs to have a single k. That's different from this group here, so it's a single k. So my common denominator is k and k plus 3. And again, I've got that minus here in this one. And then then I have to think about what I'm going to multiply by. So for here, what I end up multiplying k plus 3 by is just the k. So I'm multiplying this one by k over k. And that will give me k to the second power right there. And for my second one, I multiplied by k plus 3 over k plus 3. And again, I'm going to put these in groups. It looks like this when I multiply those. And so when I have this, I'm going to have to double distribute it. So I'm going to have k to the second plus 3k minus 4k minus 12. And I have a minus sign, so I need to put a parentheses around that and remember that I'm going to subtract the whole thing. My common denominator is k and k plus 3. And let's see, I'm going to have k squared minus, let's go ahead and write this. Let's go ahead and group these here. This adds up to negative k, right? So I get k squared, and I'm going to distribute that minus through, so minus k squared minus a minus k gives me plus k, and then minus a minus 12 gives me plus 12. So when I combine like terms, I end up with k plus 12 over k times k plus 3. And that's my answer. And we'll finish up with example C here. I have a u minus 4 and a 16 minus u squared. So you see this is kind of in a backwards order. So I'm going to turn it around. I'm going to factor out the negative 1. That's going to put a minus in the middle and make this be u squared minus 16. So remember, when I take out the negative, it flips this around, and then my negative goes here. So right now, I have this. So I'm going to rewrite everything this way. All right, so I'm going to need to factor u minus 4, u plus 4. So my common denominator needs to have a u minus 4 in it. And it also needs to have a u plus 4 in it. So it needs to have one of each kind. All right, so for the left one, I had to multiply by u plus 4 over u plus 4, which is my clever one, so that I have the right denominator. But now I need to multiply the numerators, and I'm going to have to double distribute. And that's going to give me u squared plus 4u plus 4u plus 16. And I've got this minus sign. I'm going to put it in red so I don't forget it. And then here, oh, nothing changes, does it? So I can keep the 16u. All right, so now I'm ready to subtract and combine them. So I have u minus 4, u plus 4. And up here I have u squared. This is 8u. And then minus 16u gives me a negative 8u, and then plus 16. I'm thinking this is going to factor, so my numerator becomes u. Let's see, two numbers that multiply to be 16 will be 4 and 4 and add to be 8. So u minus 4, that was some AC factoring, over u minus 4, u plus 4. So the u minus 4's cancel, and my final answer is u minus 4 over u plus 4.